Welcome in, everybody. I think we already know where we're going to pick up because, yeah, we had a player absent last time, which was perfect for the drama of this session. Yeah, so let's pick up with Hannibal. Hannibal, you wake up very suddenly. You realize that you've been asleep for upwards of, well, you don't know how long you've been asleep. All you know is that the apartment is empty, save that one mobster goon who is in the bed. You find a note stuck to your face, and find one on the nightstand. Well, you think I forgot about that? Yeah, you said that you put it on his face. Too bad, it's on his face. You have two notes ready for you. Yeah. Yes, you say what it says. You're the one that wrote it. Oh boy. And then there's a PS from Dodger that says, "This wasn't my idea." There's another note on the night, or well, not on the nightstand. You fell asleep on the fainting couch, so it'd be on the coffee table is where this note would be. No, this is the one that Dearmid wrote. Hmm. Hold on. It said Red's the only one that's audible. That's great. Let's find out why that is. Wonderful. Everybody got muted for some reason. Oh, for fuck's sake. Have each of your individual audio channels.
All be silent and people just
I forgot a very important detail that I need to add to the note anyway.
That's fine. You're gonna have to go back and read
all
it
of it
again.
I'm gonna
again.
have to go back and say it again.
Do it all again. Yep. Rehearse.
The note that is stuck to Hannibal's face. Can they hear me now? Okay.
Yes, everybody can hear you now. I'm sorry. I don't know what you know. OBS just being OBS. Nothing new.
Yeah, no. Update, casually shut down all your settings, move everything to the right side of the screen, mute everyone. You know, pipe in high pitched techno music. You know, whatever it wants to do.
Did you get the ambulance?
All right. Hannibal wakes up. There's a note attached to his face. Obviously, it's on the face. That's perfect. And he turns it around and reads it, and it says, "Now, Hannibal, I know you're gonna be mad, but just wait till I get home. Don't take it out on Jimmy. We're just going for a supply run. We'll be back shortly." Also, there's no mention of like what time I've left, what time we're coming back. It's just we'll be back shortly. And then it does say before Dodger's PS, it does say PS feed Jean Pierre.
PPS. This wasn't my idea.
And then there's just this really like neat handwriting afterwards that says PPS. This wasn't my idea, and it's clearly like obviously supposed to be Dodger's handwriting.
Okay, now in the room that I'm in, you said is the other mobster that's asleep in here in the same room as me?
Yeah, he is. This is like a 1-room apartment.
Do I know this dude's name?
Yeah, I would have told you it's Jimmy.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's Jimmy.
this is Jimmy.
I'll put his thing up on screen for that sake.
I'm going to, like I said, read the note, fold it up, put it in my inner pocket. I'm going to take out my 1911, and he's asleep on the bed. Yeah.
Yeah, he is asleep.
Oh no!
I'm going to move over, and I'm going to first like reach for the other note. There is a moment of like casual like aiming the gun right for his forehead, but
Okay.
then I'm going to like pull it away and put the gun away and read the other note.
The other note is in like a sloppier hand. Definitely the hand of a man. Just like this sort of like blocky, chunky writing. And it says, I guess I could do it in his accent.
Yeah.
Going out for supplies. Don't be mad at your sister. My idea. Be back before sundown. It just says, you think you see a name and you think it's spelled Diermund.
Okay.
He never introduced himself to you.
That's Dermond, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Dermot.
But I mean, to be fair, how familiar is Hannibal with Irish names?
Having served in World War One, I would have served with Canadian and British and Scottish. So it's like I imagine I'm decently familiar with.
That's fair. You probably knew a Dermot, actually. It was a pretty common name at the time.
And then
wow.
So I am I'm going to do a couple things before I wake up Jimmy. Firstly, are there any windows nearby that I can look at to gauge what time of day it is, or any clocks or anything like that?
There is a window, and it is. You can look outside and see it's definitely sometime in the afternoon.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
late.
You've been asleep a lot longer than you anticipated. You also didn't anticipate how tired you were. Fatigue sort of hit you all at once before you were even able to like stand up and shake it off.
Just for the sake of my own sanity, I'm going to feel around my face. Do I feel any the feeling of a mask around my face anywhere?
A mask? No.
Like a gas mask?
No. You're
Okay.
here.
So
You're all good. No mask.
I know that I'm awake. Okay. Great. I'm going to look over at Jimmy on the bed. And I'm going to reach into my pocket and pull out, like a quarter, something not super heavy, but metal. And I'm going to whip it at his forehead as hard as I can. And as soon as he wakes up, I'm going to be like, good, you're awake. I need to talk to you.
Look, you're finally awake. Just bounce him with a quarter. It's hard as That's so good.
How much does Hannibal know about? I guess he knows that this guy got shot in the leg and is like not doing too great. And does he know that?
That's the medical stuff.
Yeah, you know. Okay, I just wanted to know how much Hannibal knew about that. Oh, it did say on the letter as well that Jimmy doesn't know about the state of the world.
Yeah.
That was something I did write on the letter.
No, you
Jimmy,
did mention that in the last episode, so yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I said you might need to explain to Jimmy what's going on.
Jimmy doesn't know. Don't tell Jimmy.
Jimmy don't know about the dead people. You might have to explain that to him.
Jimmy doesn't know.
Okay. So, yeah, I will wake him up harshly and then just play it off like, oh, good, you're awake. I need to talk to you.
God, he's not going to know who the fuck you are.
You want to make a brawling check for like flicking this coin at his head?
I will gladly make a brawling check.
How hard do you leave an imprint of the, the president's head on it?
It's a failure.
Oh, God,
You can keep making this brawling check until you're. I'd imagine like Hannibal just like fuck, I missed. And he like picks it up and just like keeps flinging it out.
I'm gonna try a second quarter. Okay, so after this, I'm going to literally go over. If it's an apartment, I assume there's like a kitchen nearby.
Yeah, there's a small kitchenette.
I'm going to find a glass, fill it with water, and then splash it into his face.
You just gave up on the
2 throws and you're just like, no, fuck this water.
quarter plan.
Oh.
The quarter plan is
I'm not. I'm staying far enough away that if he tries to swing at me, he's not going to hit me. So I'm
Fair.
just. It's like I've learned not to wake up someone, especially if they're injured. You know, if they're within swinging distance.
that's something that you definitely knew from your time.
It's something that a lot of World War I soldiers learned because you have a lot of shell shock. So if you wake someone up, they could awake violently and you could get smacked in the fucking face.
Okay, so the water's like splashing his face, but he doesn't like sit up with like a jump or anything like that. He just sort of like grumbles and growls and just kind of wipes his face off, just like sort of like tired forcefulness about him. And he like blinks rapidly as he's like getting the water out of his face.
Jimmy, come on, wake up. We need to talk.
Who are you?
My name is Hannibal Riggs. I believe that you know my sister.
Oh.
Yeah, she told me about you. She said that you're a little goofy. I think she's right. Did you just... I hope that was water.
Yeah, that is the least of my goofiness.
Oh no.
I need you to pay attention because I'm going to tell you something very important.
Yeah, you got me.
I was told that you have no comprehension of what's going on outside your apartment right now.
Okay, well... Okay, slow down, Paisano.
That's not my name. My name is Hannibal Riggs.
Hannibal. Okay. We're cool.
Yeah. We're like cucumbers. That's what we're like.
Yeah,
If you knew what I was talking about, then you would understand when I say the world outside your apartment is different than it was a day ago.
What are the fuzz outside or something?
No.
Oh no.
No, you see, what we are facing is probably the easiest way to put it. Revelations. Now,
Okay, hold on.
I'm not a
He's
man
like
who
sitting up.
ascribes to reading the good book very often. I know whether or not I'm right with God. I know where I'm going. In fact, I imagine that I'm already here. But we're in hell, Jimmy. You and I, and everyone else alive. You understand what hell is, Jimmy?
What kind of maroon do you think me? Yeah, I get it.
No. I don't think you do. Now, it's not the fire and brimstone type that you might be imagining. The dead are walking the earth.
Yeah,
You
you're
kill
right.
someone, you can put a bullet right in their skull. And they will get up and they will try and bite you, tear your flesh. And if they do, you can get sick, you can die, you can join them.
Wait.
Understand?
Wait. Are you telling me I'm one of those things? One of these dead walking?
That depends, Jimmy. Now, and he's going to look down at Jimmy's leg. Now, you were injured. Tell me exactly what happened in your words.
Well, what are you, a cop?
No, far from it.
He just kind of like look around. Okay, well, bunch of guys rolled up in some boilers and tried to give everybody lead poisoning.
Mhm.
Capone's guys. I took a few of them out, but I don't really remember much after that.
You don't remember much.
No, what, just are you writing a
Well-
book or something?
Jimmy, I can take you outside and throw you out into the street, and you'll see how goddamn serious I am. But I don't want to do that. Not yet, anyway. You see, my sister cares about you, which is the only reason you're still alive right now. So I want to know, in your words, how you got injured. Did you get shot or did you get scratched a bit?
All right, take it easy. I got peppered. I think maybe once or twice in the leg. I just remember losing a lot of blood and just falling over. I remember Dearmid was there with me. Where's Dearmid at? He'd look around.
Apparently, good old genius Diamond took it among himself to go with my sister and go out and get supplies.
When they go for like a grocery run?
No. And since you apparently lack, basic critical thinking here, they went out to scavenge for supplies because the dead are walking the goddamn earth. You understand me? You don't have to understand it. You just need to accept it. All right?
And
Now, I don't like you, so I'm not going to sugarcoat nothing, ever.
I don't even know who you are. All I know is that you're Sylvie's goon brother. That's it.
Whoa. He is ratting me out right now.
Why would he say that?
I wonder
see,
how
let's see.
fast he is with an injured leg, and if he's faster than the zombies in the street, because it might be relevant in a couple
I
seconds.
really need him to shut up right now.
Now, so who brought you here? How much sponduli are they paying you? Like, are you with Capone's gang? Are you just like I don't understand it. Okay, wait, hold on. Let's. Sylvie was here. Is that why you're here?
How about I'll put it like this? Yes, I'm here because of my sister.
He
She
would, by
wanted
the
to
way,
come
see
here.
the cat in the corner in the cage.
Yeah, I'm getting to that. I'm here because of my sister. For some reason, she cares about your well-being. So, like I said, that's why you're still alive.
Okay, hey, you're tooting the wrong ringer here right now. Sylvie and I are just friends. We haven't gone steady since I don't know 25.
I truly, and believe me when I mean this, don't give a shit. All right? Now, as far as Capone's men, I think that Scarface could have every typewriter in this goddamn city. But if he has my sister in danger, then he's got an unholy hellfire coming down upon him. And his name is Hannibal motherfucking Riggs. So I need you to goddamn understand. The dead are walking the earth. We are in hell now.
All right. Let me get a suit on, man. He's like rubbing at his eyes, and he's like getting up. Yeah, he actually seems pretty steady on his leg. So there didn't seem to be any like real like tissue or muscle related damage. It was a little wobbly, but he's just wearing one of those like big pairs of like long underwear that go down to like or the big boxers that go down to just above the knees, and he's just gonna like go over to his wardrobe and start like digging through it. Oh, I gotta find my glad rags. Maybe I shouldn't wear something nice if these people are like walking the streets dead or something. What were you saying?
Yeah. Get something you can move in. Now, if you needed to leave this precious little apartment and you needed to get supplies, where would you go? Long haul supplies.
Long haul supplies? You mean like what?
you had to pull up stakes and leave the city, where would you stop first?
I don't know. Maybe like a hunting supply. Maybe a Macy's or J.C. Penney.
Yeah, go there.
I haven't had a lot of luck in Macy's recently.
What are their suits too expensive for you, old man?
Jimmy's gonna get shot, man.
You already did.
Again.
Oh
No, I killed 2 men in a Macy's this morning.
I don't think I'm following.
Oh, then you're dumber than you look. Finish getting dressed.
I just woke up.
You
I
have
know what's
5 minutes, and I'm going to go and feed the cat.
But in 5 minutes, you're gonna feed the cat?
That's how long it's going to take me to not have this cat claw my face off while I'm trying to feed it.
That's a laugh. 5 minutes. Only 5?
He's like putting a suit on and like grabbing an overcoat and a hat and everything like that, and you see him tucking away a piece and that sort of thing. Are you up on the roof or something? Are you sure you're all there?
Oh, no, I'm crazy. And I need you to remember that I'm crazy.
Great. Okay. Yeah. He's like gonna walk over to the window and like look outside. Somebody took
See a
my
lot of people
fucking
down
car. Also, hold on. You said mother. What's a motherfucker?
I hate to tell you, that phrase has been common since before the Civil War.
It was common amongst African Americans. It wasn't used by
And-
other people.
And soldiers.
Oh well, that's definitely why he doesn't know what it is. Yeah.
My
I'm
poor
I'm just
Jimmy.
saying, if he's struggling with criminals, he's probably also heard it. But that's fine. If he doesn't know, just be like.
He's around
just-
Polish and
You
Irish
just need to
people,
tell him
so-
to sound it out. I'm
So
sure he'll
in that
figure it
case,
out.
if he asks me that genuinely, I will see if you can figure it out through context.
Oh my
I don't
God.
feel like that's something you can figure out through context, Paisano, but okay. I feel like it means a
Jimmy.
lot more than just the literal meaning.
Jimmy, please shut up.
That we're all just sitting here like, Jimmy's gonna die today.
Jimmy, please. I don't have it in me.
All right, Mac. Before we, hoof it anywhere, I need to make a few phone calls.
All the phones are dead. Also, my name is Hannibal, not Mac.
Do you live under a rock?
Jimmy,
No.
please.
I live down the street from my sister, so I can keep
You
an eye
do.
on.
You live over the rock, pal.
Oh my God.
Actually, you're one
You've
fly
never
over the
ever
cuckoo's
seen or met Jimmy though, which is quite incredible.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm just gonna let him go as I'm trying to feed the cat.
Can we have a handout of Jean Pierre, please?
nest.
Oh yeah, John Pierre, very chilled out with Jimmy in the room.
Cat priority.
I'm going to look down at the cat and I'm going to whisper very quietly, please just eat.
Please eat.
It was at that moment on the stream that I was watching it that the cat sidled onto the thing just as you said that. Like,
There he is. That
I
little demon.
forgot. I have to like slide things over into frame so I can like have the things up, and I like to imagine that everybody at stream just saw this cat just like slide on over. It. Like, oh, that's really good. We need that moment.
Yeah.
We need a little bit of like levity between all the tense shit that I'm about to drop on y'all.
Oh, God.
no, you're not.
Is that
I accept the consequences.
all right, Hannibal? If we're going by our God-given names, call me James.
All right, James,
Only people I
finished?
like call me Jimmy.
you ready?
Jimmy, shut up.
He's not bristled by that at all. Hannibal's like, I don't care.
Jimmy's not testing it. He's a young guy, but he's not he knows his limits. Like he's just making it. Hannibal stated it plain. He somewhat respects it, so he's doing the same exact thing.
Yeah, that as I said, that does not hurt Hannibal's feelings in the slightest.
No.
I mean, I feel like he is testing a limit. Sylvie would definitely have told him that Hannibal's got a bit of a temper. Like,
The thing is, I feel like Sylvie would really undersell it. She's like, oh yeah, he's got a bit of a temper. He's a
he
little,
can get
like,
a little touchy sometimes.
I don't think that she would be like, oh, by the way, he's a fucking maniac.
Yeah, I
You,
don't think she's quite given it to him like that.
Hannibal, do you have a boiler, or are we hoofing it?
I have a car.
That's a relief. Do you want me to drive? And before you say anything, it's my left leg that's all messed up. I can drive.
And
I'm a pretty good wheel.
there's a bit where it's like he kind of pauses, but I think for Hannibal you'd realize like, well, if he's driving, it's easier for me to shoot at stuff. So I'll go and I'll give him the keys.
He just like catches him.
Did he read Sylvie's note?
Oh yeah, duh. He would have read that. He would have like double checked and looked back over. Oh, okay. He's gonna like go over. Hold on a second. You're gonna pick up this note, read it.
Oh, that's me. That's my cue.
Miss Actress.
It just said. Well, I felt like it said something very similar. It was just basically like it was a little bit more like friendly.
Right.
It was just like Jimmy. Now I know that I don't normally drop by unless I've called first, but circumstances have changed somewhat. My brother will explain everything. Try not to let the preachy Bible stuff frighten you too much. And don't rile him up too much either. He'll already be mad enough at me. If he hasn't already fed Jean-Pierre, feed Jean-Pierre. That's what it says.
He's like reading this note and he just like slowly looks over at Hannibal. I think this would have been better to read before I started talking to you, Mac. He said, he just kind of like he just tucks it away into his jacket.
I'm like I said, I have my weapon, so I'm going to pick up the cage with Jean-Pierre in it. All right, we're bringing the cat.
Yes! The whole gang's back together!
Gang's all here.
And I'm going to go and I'll look around and like I said, if he's not like limping too hard, if he's like doing okay, then I will basically kind of trust him to just get down on his own and head downstairs out toward the car. Is there anyone on the street level near the car?
There are some shambling creatures sort of making their way about the place. And Jimmy is... he's just sort of like looking around. And he's not really phased by these shambling creatures. He actually... like they're pretty far away, so you can't... there's no up-close look at the state of them. But he can see them shambling. Rough night, huh?
I'm going to hold a hand up, and I'm going to like put a finger in my mouth to be quiet, and then gesture for him to like really look at them as good as he can from here, while I go and quietly put the cat into the car. And
Jimmy got the cat in the cage with relative ease.
Oh god.
What do they hit the gin mill a little too hard, or?
the dead, James, the dead.
He'd like look back at you with a reasonable look of skepticism. Like he truly just he could not fathom this. So what?
They did. And I don't know I don't know why they've chosen to blow the trumpet now, but the seals have been opened. It's done. All right. Like I said, I might be crazy, but I know what's happening. We're in hell. The dead are walking the earth. This is it. So we can try and find some place that we can last as long as possible. Perhaps Rapture has for us a plan. I think things are confused. I know my sister doesn't deserve this, so there's got to be a way out for her at least. So get in the car, because we're going to go try and find her and your little friend.
Yeah, I
We got a
never
nurse
should have gone
with
to
him.
church during Easter.
Well,
Well, can I try to go talk to one of these people?
no. You're going to drive. And if one of them gets close to the car, you're going to drive faster and out of the way. Getting a chance, they will grab you, they'll bite you, they'll kill you, and you'll become one of them.
Jesus, Mac, that's a lot. I don't know.
My name is Hannibal.
Yeah,
No,
thanks.
yes,
Thanks. I know what your name is. He's just like running his fingers through his like mussed up hair that still has some like product in it.
You can see like he's kind of gotten to a point of like he's calmed down as far as like anger goes, of just like we need to deal with the situation now. And he is trying to be quiet with all of like even if they're like farther away, if they're within eyesight, he is trying to be as quiet as possible. So he's going to get in the car and try and close the door as quietly as he can.
Well, he's gonna climb on into the car and close the door in the driver's seat, and he's gonna like put his hands on the wheel at 10 and 2, and he's gonna like take a deep breath.
No. Supplies. Where do you think they would go?
So, how many are like that? Is this like an opiate crisis or something?
Since it started, I've only found a few still alive.
How long have I been out?
It's been less than 24 hours since it started.
Shit. It's only been a day. How can it be this bad?
Like I said, in numbers, they can overwhelm you. Every time their numbers get bigger, we are entrenched against an enemy that vastly outnumbers and outpowers us. This is not a war of attrition. This is a matter of survival. This is something that I don't know that we're going to recover from. My only real hope is that through some kind of grace we can get Sylvia out. I don't care about me. I'm going to be honest, James, I don't care about you. But I will keep you alive if it helps me get to my sister. Now, I've spent a long time serving, longest still doing detective work and any other jobs I need to do. I can handle myself, and I can keep you alive. We get to Sylvia. That's what's important.
Sure, you make it sound like eggs and coffee, and says he pulled the keys out of his pocket and turned it over. I don't know where she went. I don't think you do either.
No.
And I wish Dearmid would have been a little bit more specific, but,
Well, best guess, and then we'll work down the list. Supplies. Where would you go?
Probably a grocery store. Or a pharmacy? The druggist?
Like I said, stuff you need to grab so that you can leave town and be gone. Possibly forever.
Well, I'd want to get as many guns as possible, so probably a Macy's, like I said, but you said you fogged a couple of people.
Well, like I said, assume that all of Capone's men are coming to kill you. Treat just about every person you see like one of them. But instead of a Thompson, they have nails and teeth.
Sounds like we got a fair shot if you put it like that.
Yeah. Just remember we're outnumbered a few thousand to one. So, supplies. Start driving. And I'm going to kind of like lean back in the seat, and I'm going to make sure I have the window down, so if I need to like, stick my fucking arm out and shoot somebody, I can do it.
Sure. He's going to start driving, and he is purposely avoiding these. He's giving these people like just shambling in the street, the very wide berths, like so he doesn't accidentally clip them or anything like that.
And I will just light up a cigarette, and I'm going to sit silently as he starts driving somewhere, and hope that we find Sylvie soon.
Okay. In that case, I think we'll cut back over.
This is going to be fun.
Yeah. So I believe where we left off with Dodger and oh boy, we left off with Dodger, Sylvie, and Edward. The three of you were being escorted somewhere, if I remember correctly.
So I think Edward was already escorted and was in a room.
Yeah, he had already conversed.
And Dodger and I are currently in a room with a lot of men with a lot of guns.
Yeah.
And,
A lot of dudes.
but they're currently, I think where we left off was Sylvie is she is back with it. And has very quickly stopped beating up everything that she can possibly get her hands on and threatening mobsters. And she is now done the only thing that she can think to do in such a situation, which is burst into tears and immediately emotionally manipulate the men around her to feel sorry for her. So she... And it's working. I'm pretty sure that we left it off. It's working. They're just a little bit bamboozled by a woman crying. It's making them feel uncomfortable enough that the guns are no longer pointing at them. She's now starting to go into, okay, how do I get Dodger and I out of this situation that I might have had a hand in putting us into?
Just a little bit. Just a wee bit.
But we've been told that we're going to go and see a really nice gentleman called Jack. If I remember that correctly.
Gentleman is a strong word.
Which I'm pretty sure that was how it was described to Sylvie. That like Jack's, he's what was it like? He's fair. He's like amicable. That was it. Amicable. Yeah. Jack's amicable. I don't know that she fully believes that because she's definitely got her interests aligned on the other side of the mob war, but she's hopeful that she can, have a conversation with an amicable person. So right now she's playing a little bit dumb and a little bit hysterical. I think she's actually described herself as hysterical at this point. We're in that kind of level of situation. So she's kind of crying and she's kind of like mopping at her eyes. Dodger has asked if she can go down to a medical room.
Refill her bag of medical supplies.
Yeah, because she's not feeling too well. I think that's kind of where we left off. She's just like, is there somewhere we can sit, or do we need to go meet this Jack now?
Yeah, the goons are just sort of like shaking their head, and one of them lifts his chin and gestures like, "Get moving." We're gonna go see him right now because he wants to know what's going on outside. Capiche?
Sure. Yeah, sure. Gentlemen, do you mind if I just and then she kind of opens up her bag. She's gonna pull out like a little mirror. She's like, I can't meet someone without, I gotta tidy myself up a little. And then she's just gonna start to tidy herself up. She's rescued a little bit of makeup, I think, from Hannibal, like just dumping it all out. And so she's gonna grab a lipstick and just reapply, and she's gonna look at that bruise that's on her head and just be like, oh my god. And then she's gonna, having tidied herself up, made herself look presentable, and she knows they're all waiting for her. She doesn't care. She's gonna go, all right, I'm ready.
The bigger like muscle dude just kind of like looking at her like, are you kidding me right now? Granted, the situation. Never mind. He's just gonna start leading her along, like making sure that the doctor is still following. Doctor, nurse.
I'll take doctor.
Same difference and
Dr. Dodger.
Doctor.
It's not like anyone's out here to check your PhD credentials right now, so I think you're good.
Doctor now.
Fuck it, I'm a doctor now.
Hydration check. I don't even know where my water
So
is.
many people have
yeah,
asked
shit.
Dodger if she's a doctor. That
Yeah, thanks for that.
I'm hopeful that one day she's going to turn around. Yes, I am.
Eventually, she's gonna get sick of being asked. She's gonna like, yeah, fuck it. I'm more qualified than half the doctors in the fucking hospital. The other half are dead.
Yeah, well, you're significantly more qualified in that regard. So, okay, you make your way down this hall, and you can see over this like balcony type thing that like it's a U shape that and over the balcony you can see just a bunch of tables, bunch of people gambling and stuff like that, drinking at a bar, but they're all relatively quiet. They're all just like sort of doing their own thing. You're in a very grandiose speakeasy, and you know that for sure. There's a band quietly playing music, like a mezzo piano, like really.
Oh,
really,
music! Like, I wish we could be a little louder with the music. I do like a party.
Just getting like daggers from Dodger, like
all the zombies.
I'm sure you do. Jack will see you now. It says he walked over to this massive pair of wooden doors, and he opened one of them up and gesture. Or he'd open it up like inward, and like his arm would be along the door, and he'd be looking down at the two of you like, don't test my patience.
She just still gives him a dazzling smile as she walks through.
actually following.
It's just morose frown. Just like
Dodger's just avoiding eye contact, just staring at the floor.
smart.
This is how she handles her very grumpy brother. This is how she's going to handle a very grumpy.
I was gonna say that you're probably passing a man with a well groomed mustache and a younger boy, probably no older than 15, 16, on the way to this room.
Okay. I think she will. The presence of other people will style her somewhat. So these two they look like an unlikely duo. Yeah. Okay.
You two also look like an unlikely duo, so you kind of have that in common.
Yeah.
A flapper and a doctor walk into a bar.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I think that's the thought process. Actually, she'd just be like walking in, and she'd be like, "Well, this looks like an unlikely." Oh, well, yeah, well, fair enough. And she'll go, "Oh, excuse me, am I interrupting something here?"
No, he was just on his way out. Right, Edward?
You're muted. Omni.
Omni's muted.
You're muted.
I was waiting
now.
for you.
That's like everyone's mics. Are we all good? Okay, so motherfucker.
Are you
The
still
thing that
watching?
one man
Good.
doesn't understand. Repeat that for me, as my rage has blinded my short-term memory.
Didn't he have one more thing that he wanted to say?
He did, yeah. He's been waiting outside patiently while you're all doing your thing. I was shuttled out so you all could have your thing. Again, not quite against his will, but earlier than he would have liked. So he's probably just sitting there tapping his feet outside. He's not super impatient, but he's kind of like doing that's slightly like irritated, any day now. Not like what I'm talking about is the survival of everyone in this room and possibly the city, but sure, go ahead, by all means. So yeah, he's out there waiting, and he would probably see you all walking by, I'd figure.
With Leroy just kind of like at your side, sort of like in your shadow more than anything.
Now you mentioned that he's definitely dressed like a train engineer or a train driver.
He's definitely like he's dressed like someone who works. So like at the moment he's not wearing his full uniform. He isn't gonna be wearing that in this situation. He's wearing actually very close to what I'm wearing. So suspenders, long sleeve button up shirt, sort of a nice little hat, kind of like this. But his sleeves are rolled all the way up, and his arms are like rippling muscle. This is a guy who's absolutely constantly working with his hands on posts.
Blue collar.
Yeah. Like, although honestly, the way he holds himself and the way he looks, yeah, he clearly works likely at the station or something. There's only so many jobs you can work where you're not either covered head to toe in black soot and wearing clothes like that. Oh, really? All you need to do is swap swap an engineer's hat on, and he would look the part.
Yeah, you're versed enough to know that he probably works on the railroad or at the dock, one or the other.
Yeah,
I feel like because this was something that Sylvie definitely said we need to find like a train driver or a train engineer, because everyone's plan was we're gonna go find a train and get out, and then she was like, don't we need someone to drive this? So I feel like she would see this gentleman dressed like that, and she would just kind of instinctively like grab Dodger's arm a little bit. And as he goes to leave, she would probably say, "Oh, do you work at the station?"
he would pause and then look over at her. I used to, yes.
Oh,
Pleasure to
I
meet
suppose
you.
you don't work there no more. That's right. I used to want to be a train driver when I was young.
It's a good job, though. Not sure how the economy is going to be for you. I don't want to keep you waiting. I know the man wants to have a word. Sort of
Oh no,
glowers back
please
behind you.
take your time. I got plenty of time for gum flapping in the middle of the end of the world.
You two aren't hurt, are you?
I'm fine. Thank you, though.
I apologize. I'll then like realize. I think she'll realize, and she'll turn to Jack and she'll go, I apologize. My mistake. That was very rude of me.
He's sitting like all the way across the room, like in this big like mahogany desk and this nice like upholstered leather chair, just like having the time of his life. And you can just feel the presence of people in the corners of the room that you can't see. Just kind of like standing there waiting. Jack McGurn. Yeah, pleasure. I want to know what you two ladies were doing outside making a bunch of noise. You trying to get us killed?
Oh,
Doing a pretty good job of it.
Well, sir, I must confess that is my fault, not the fault of my friend here.
Who has no memory of what happened outside.
Oh yeah, she's just like, what the fuck happened outside?
I feel like Sylvie would clock that you look a little bit too confused, but like she'll deal with that later.
She just looks deathly confused about what's happening, right?
I must confess, sir, that is my fault. I was well, let's see now. We were on a supply run, and I saw a hotel, and I thought that it would be a good idea. Hotels, they tend to have, food and such. And we were doing just fine until a car drove past and made quite the kerfuffle. Zombies everywhere, and she'll do that face of looking like a woman who is doing her best not to cry, but like failing miserably. But
yeah, you also said zombies after you corrected Diarmid on
I
saying
know,
zombies, who is now dead.
Yeah, I didn't mean to say zombies. I'll say
No, I think it's good that you said zombies.
yeah, I feel like
I genuinely
this is
do.
maybe going to be her little tribute. Is she's going to start calling them zombies? Okay, so yeah, she'll be like, and well, a friend of ours was lost to the horde, and I might have got a little upset. It's my first time seeing such a thing. You look well kitted out, and I didn't realize that there were people in this hotel. You understand?
Like leans forward on his desk and like put both of his elbows on it, which is not good manners. So, zombies, huh? Is that what you're calling them?
Oh, yeah. Did you know that it's some folklore, in
I didn't ask for an
America.
explanation.
That's
No.
what I'm calling them.
Okay, I've just been calling them the dead. I like zombies. Has a bit of a ring to it. Sure. Okay. So, sorry about your friend. That's tough. You have any useful skills?
Torture just looks down at herself. Like,
Well, I suppose I'm an entertainer, an actress, but in the current economy, I'm not so sure that would be classed as quite so useful. But
You're not making a good case for yourself.
Dodger just holds
I
her
think
arms out
that-
like,
I think that she's trying to psych. I think that at this moment she's trying to psych out how intelligent this man wants her to be. Because I feel like
Okay.
she plays it too dumb. She is an inconvenience. She plays it too smart. She's a problem.
You can make some sort of like psychology or psycho analysis
Yeah.
check. Just kind of like get a vibe on them. Either or is fine. It doesn't matter to me.
How useful do I want to be?
Then,
Okay, yeah, not that good. Failure. He's probably pretty
Huh.
poker faced.
this guy's got a hard look about him. He's got this sort of. He's got a thin upper lip, and his eyes are. They have a luster to them, but there's no light in them. There's sort of like this distance between you and him that's far more figurative than the literal sense. And he just seems rather uncaring and perhaps just the slightest bit irritated. But it's hard to tell. The way he's reading you, there's no way you can tell. The guy has a poker face.
If he has 1,000-yard stare like Hannibal, she would recognize that look so well.
Yeah. He's gonna shoot me any moment because he doesn't have brotherly attachment.
Well, he has like a disassociative sort of look about him.
Yeah.
So
I think that she's gonna change her facial expression a little bit, enough that like the shift in her mood will be a bit noticeable to him. And she'll say, "Well, you're a smart man. I'm sure you've noticed I'm a good talker."
could I roll a spot hidden just to see if there's anything he's sort of like keeping off of the table at this point? I'm quite curious.
like something he's physically hiding is what you're asking.
Yeah, I'm quite curious. I know he's got his elbows on the table, but I want to know if he's like got something near him, possibly.
Okay, yeah, you can make that. By all means.
Remember how to do.
You're about like 20 feet away from him.
Let me just double check if that was a success or a hard success.
You're on the far end of the room. You guys have barely stepped in the door. You're like maybe 3 or 4 feet from the door itself, and that the big tough guy has closed the door behind you since.
I rolled a success.
This guy's you can tell by the way, like when he leans forward and the way that his chest pushed against like the breast of his coat and stuff like that, he definitely has like a very solid L-shaped indentation in his jacket. Like,
I would like to clutch Sylvie's arm a little bit harder, please.
even though he's like it is 100% obvious that he is the kingpin. He runs the things around here. He is still that paranoid where he keeps a gun on himself at all times.
Yeah, I'm just gonna clutch you a little bit tighter.
And he sort of he leans his very round face on his fist, which his knuckles aren't quite as sharp as regular people's. They're very flattened and misshapen.
This guy's a fighter.
Let me tell you, sir, that I am certainly not a threat to you.
Oh,
But if I were, I would say that managing to get all the way from the window to here without a single one of your men pointing a gun at me would be quite the faux pas, wouldn't it?
I don't know. Some of my boys got a soft spot for the ladies.
There's a lot of people that have a soft spot for the ladies.
I see what you're saying. How about your friend here?
He's gonna like hide a little bit back.
She's a nurse. She's seen the creatures outside. She knows some of what to do with them, understands them better than I do.
Sure.
I was
I want to hear her
ground
tell me this.
I was at ground zero when the hospital fell.
What's a ground zero? You got to be a little bit more specific.
Oh,
with this.
wait, yeah, that's a phrase that hasn't been made. I was.
Well, no, that's a phrase that you would know, but not what he would know.
Oh, right, yeah.
Like that's.
I saw the dead first appear in Chicago.
Okay.
I was at the hospital. I'm a nurse, and I studied them a little bit before I ran.
Now, are you just a nurse? Are you the kind of people that just fluffs pillows?
I have a few PhDs under my belt. Mainly focusing on medicine, physical care, psychology a little bit.
Sylvie trying very hard to look absolutely flabbergasted.
You could say I was more qualified than most of the doctors.
Absolutely, I knew that.
I have no way to test the validity of that other than having you, stick around and keep an eye on people. So, you got a cure to this?
Not yet. I'm working on it.
I like your ambition. I respect that. Okay. So, here's what I'm willing to offer you two. You stay here. You help me out. Help everybody out. There's a community here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the old Grand Hotel. People have just taken to calling it the Grand. You can call it that too, but only if you're gonna stay here. If I'm gonna let you out on the street, I'm gonna throw you to that pack of wolves down there. Understand? Because if you're not with me, you're against me. And considering all the would-be factions growing in the city right now, I wouldn't want more enemies. And you ladies seem somewhat competent to get as far as where we are right now. And entertainer, yeah, we need more of that. A doctor, we got one, but he's a bit. Can you just say you were more qualified than most doctors, or did I mishear you?
I am.
So you're going to be a doctor, okay?
Okay.
No more of that. No more of that bullshit about ladies not being able to do men's jobs. That don't apply anymore. This is no longer the status quo.
Those are almost perfect.
That actually really appeals to Sylvie for a second.
even Dodger perks up a little bit. She's like, "Ooh, hell yeah!
Okay, we're staying."
Maybe it's not so bad after all."
Some of my best chopper squads are all ladies.
Well, there's just one small issue that I have with that very generous offer of yours, sir. And that is that I have somewhat mislaid my brother.
Sorry for your loss.
My brother would be very useful to you. He's an excellent shot.
I got plenty of excellent shots, Toots. I can assure you.
Not like my brother.
You vouch for him this hard? Is that a bit of a nepotistic sort of view, or is you being real?
In my professional opinion, he is an excellent shot.
Sir, you and I both know that family is everything.
What's your name, both of you?
Sylvie LaBelle.
Oh, the actress. Yeah.
Oh no.
She's gonna know. She's gonna like. This is the one moment where she's not gonna get all like, oh, you know who? And she's like,
That's right.
Yeah, Chicago's up and coming, darling. Yeah, I thought I recognized you. If to be quite honest, if you lied to me, I would have just popped you.
Well, I'm sure you know LaBelle is just a stage name.
I just read the papers.
Let me go back for my brother and our friend.
I can do you one better. I can send out some chief chivers and chopper squads to go and pick them up for you.
I would prefer to go and find him.
I don't like that.
Sir, I think it's probably better that you don't send a squad out after him.
He's not.
He's not mentally stable.
Sir, he's not personable like I am.
Oh,
He's not
whoa,
quite-
whoa. You want me to risk Chicago's little darling and a doctor to go find some psycho that can shoot a gun pretty good? You know how many psychos I already got that shoot a gun pretty good? He gestured to the two people in the corner and then to himself. You know what Jack McGurn's known for, right? Machine Gun Jack McGurn.
I feel like we need to roll.
do
like a
I
psycho
know?
check.
What?
Yeah.
No, you can make some sort of check appropriately. Like you
History.
maybe heard the name. It wouldn't be history. It would be something like if you can take a skill and like say like, oh, I could probably relate it back to this.
Only
Like
one I can.
firearms, for example.
Make a handgun.
Has Jimmy ever spoken? I'm gonna guess that it's a no because we didn't really speak about each other's.
Jimmy's never mentioned Jack.
Jimmy's never mentioned. Okay, that's fine.
Also, Jack McGurn was a real person, by the way.
We didn't.
Fine.
I'm familiar with Jack.
I might be able to
We
justify.
didn't do a lot of talking, Jimmy and I.
Uh-oh. I might be able to justify first aid if I can say that maybe people in the hospital have talked about it. Well, I'm patching them up.
Kind of a stretch. I would make it like
Maybe listen then. I know that's kind of like a.
Yeah, listen might work.
listen. I'm gonna say hard success, just because like
Okay.
that's a very broad check.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm trying to. What about? Oh, no, honestly, I don't know that Sylvie would ever have asked people about like, tell me what the mob's doing. Like, I don't. Like, I would like argue for charm otherwise, but I
You
don't
see
know.
in the papers and stuff like that. So if you could find some sort of way to,
I have
reduce that.
failed. Dodger has no idea who he is.
The idea that Sylvie would read the papers about anything other than reviews of her stuff.
Hey, you gotta
I
read
mean-
headlines before you get to them.
Sylvie probably does read the papers for like the social columns and stuff like that, but I guess that things might stick out to her if it's like big headlines, but nothing
If you can give me one of your skills and justify it, I'll throw you a bone.
Tell you, do like a handgun or a rifle shotgun check.
Those would be applicable.
You think so?
Yeah, it's gonna be a bit of a harder check. By harder check, I mean you're gonna need to get a hard or an extreme success, depending on what you're using here.
I would love to do a handgun if I could be here for this. But
I
I
would
would
just.
love to do handgun, but
I will justify Cthulhu mythos.
Oh yeah, 100%.
what do you think of charm as a check?
Charm him into
Charm
telling
is
you
also
who he
kind of
is.
like small talk and stuff like that too. Just like talking to people, shooting the
Yeah.
shit, probably charming people that shouldn't be charmed. You know, the kind of like everything but like the whole pillow
I mean,
talk
people
idea.
talk. She's an entertainer. Like people talk about things with Sylvie that they might not normally, you know.
That's okay. Just a hard success is what I'm going to ask for.
Okay, I'm just thinking that. I mean, to be fair, Sylvie's skills, they're not high. Anyway, so I feel like honestly, charm, library use, but then library use is not really. I mean, reading the papers, does that count as library use? Not really.
I mean, that's as much of a stretch as I'd make it an extreme success to succeed on that.
Just make the charm and see if you
Make-
know.
Charm. I'm gonna try
Hard
charm.
success.
Okay.
Okay. Need a hard
Charm.
success.
Okay. that's
Regular's
fine.
not a complete failure, but
99.
Oh no, that's
Ah,
a failure. That's
we
a
both
failure.
failed.
Sylvie has not been paying attention.
You can always
Okay, well,
flip
I'm gonna be honest with him. He wants honesty. I'm gonna say, honestly, sir, I don't think that our circles have really run over each other.
I got nothing.
it. Good. I wouldn't be very good at what I do if people knew who I was.
Well, it comes as no surprise that you know who I am. Otherwise, I wouldn't be very good at what I do, would I?
Mm-hmm. Let me just tell you, the nickname Machine Gun Jack is so many people lovingly refer to me as. It's not a nickname that's earned from nothing. Don't need another psycho running around shooting people, especially if you, since Miss Doctor here, she just told me that this man is mentally unstable.
ask a
Try not
question?
to give Dodger a look of like.
Can I ask a question? Can I hear this conversation from where I am? Am I out? Is the door like closed on me, or am I like? Is the door open and I'm right there? Because I figured he would have gone as far as they would have marched him, but he would have preferred to stay by the door since he still plans on talking to this guy a little more.
Yeah, the two make a listen check for me. The two thugs at the door wouldn't like stop you from standing nearby the door.
Roger that. All right.
I might have
See,
a way out.
rolling on down.
Jack never did say that this was a private conversation.
Yeah. Wow. Actually, the worst possible roll.
actually-
Oh
I'm
my
not.
god.
I'm not re-rolling that. Good luck, guys.
Okay.
That's on you.
There's a bit of a ringing in your ears from the tinnitus that you suspect that you have.
Yeah, I have had. I did get my head rocked pretty bad earlier. So
Yeah, you,
All right,
you
that's
did.
me.
You took quite the bludgeoning.
good luck.
I'm kind of using him as a little bit of a case study into the effects of what would you call it? The apocalypse, to find out how it affects people. If
Oh, this is great. This is desperation at its
This is-
finest.
this is desperation.
We want to see just how far we can push someone who's been shell shocked.
I just want to see how far.
Okay.
Um,
So you are gonna use him as a guinea pig.
Yeah.
Sylvie looked a bit indignant at that. I'm not using my brother for anything of the sort.
She just looks at you with like tethered in her eyes, like, please let this happen.
Seems
The
like we're
problem
all
is, sir, that my brother might come looking for me.
Oh, I got no doubts in that.
Oh, so what do you mean by that?
I mean, he's a little impatient.
And also unstable and good with a gun, correct? Or did I mishear? you?
Mostly good with a gun.
And partially unstable.
I can keep him stable.
The apocalypse hasn't affected him too much.
Shut the fuck up, Dodger.
I am trying to live in a world here. I'm trying to perceive a world where Alex's character doesn't die in the third fucking episode again.
This is number 5.
We live in a
Okay,
more
we
This
won.
is a
society.
new
We won.
record. This is a new record for him.
Okay.
Oh no.
Please let me go and find my brother.
Sure, but you're doing it by yourself, if that's how it's going to be.
I'm sorry, what?
Without
Oh.
Dodger?
Oh, do you really think I'm going to let a doctor just walk out of here? Potentially waste him? You know how many people here need checkups? You know how many people here need to get patched up? She might be able to manifest some sort of cure to all this madness.
I can't do it if I don't have any case studies.
We got
Tall
plenty of
thing.
case studies here. I can assure you that much.
Have you got infected people in this building?
Oh, yeah.
You gonna let me take anyone? What about your train driver friend? He looked good.
Oh, no. No. You shouldn't even have overheard that conversation, first of all.
I didn't overhear no conversation. I just asked him if he was a train driver.
Yeah, honesty and all that. Well, tell you what. I'll give you one of my mooks.
Hmm.
One of the big guys with a gun.
I would like to protest.
Well, I hate to break it to you, Toots, but this ain't a democracy anymore. Actually, well, to be fair, it never was.
Well, all right then.
Now, Doctor, I got plenty of things for you to do.
I just feel like we're splitting the party more.
Stop splitting the party, Red.
Just feel like we're splitting the party more. I don't even want to be here. I don't even want to stay. All right. Sylvia's thinking. I'll be honest, Red. Like, what in terms of because I've got an idea score of 80. Is there anything that Sylvie might come up with that I'm not coming up with that might be a better solution that might get a little bit more of what she wants, which is not to be split up from Dodger, still to go find her brother?
I would also like to try and make that check.
Do you have an idea of 80?
I have an idea of 85, if that changes
I have an idea of 80. Yeah.
Both of you have really high. Okay. That lends itself to sort of some meta thinking that I'm willing to.
Let's
Purple
try
is
to
fairly-
Tommy and I apart because it's my turn to romance on me.
So,
Are you like rotating who's on their own? Is that what you're doing?
no, you guys just keep walking into these situations that are pretty funny. Honestly, the fact that Dearman didn't survive is probably better for you at this point.
Yeah. I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Probably better that I don't remember who he is. Or what
so
happened.
Because right, so he offered to send someone to go and pick up my brother.
he offered to
But
send an
I'm
entire
guessing
squad to
that
go and find him.
if I told them the address of where to go and pick up my brother, that would have been an issue, which is why Sylvie is very not okay with this idea.
That's right, because your friend has ties to the other side.
Yeah,
of
I feel
this.
like if she'd have been like, yeah, just head on over to the Irish territory, he would have been
Fuck,
like,
it's Jimmy's
"Oh,
men, and
yeah."
then you'd see just like the about 80% of the scenes of some of the Godfather movies play out.
Yeah,
So-
so I feel like that was why Sylvie was like, no.
So he's gonna let you go out by yourself, but he doesn't want Dodger to leave because Dodger is a doctor, and to be fair, that is probably the smartest thing that he could do is make sure that they don't lose an invaluable asset. He considers you an asset, but not necessarily invaluable.
Yeah. I
That's
thought
the
that.
reality of the situation. And
Yeah.
he's just sort of saying, okay, sure, you can go out and find your brother by yourself. Because the reason he's saying that with your idea score
Mhm.
is that he thinks you're up to something. He 100% thinks you're up to something. And he's not exactly like, he's just like, okay, so if you don't want my people, he offered the most reasonable thing to you, have a bunch
Yeah.
of people go out and pick him up. And like, that would be it. and you decline that. So in his mind, that's the most reasonable.
She hasn't declined yet. She's thinking. She's just trying to mull it over in her brain as to whether she can think of a better solution to offer him, but she's not actually declined. She's not said, no, I don't want to take your man. I want to take everyone else.
If you could go with this squad, you could go with this squad because that is something that he suggested. Like you go with it. But now that you're sort of like on the fence about it, he's like, okay, you can go by yourself.
I have an idea, but unfortunately, I can't chime in because my guy can't fucking hear anything.
No, I think that she hadn't declined the offer.
Oh, I know. He's just threatening to decline to take away the offer. That was a sort of like gesture with that.
All right. That seems reasonable. What do you think, Dodger? Will you be? And I think she looks a little bit like. Will you be all right here by yourself?
I'll send this the doctor, would-be doctor, as she described herself. I'll send them with the squad because she's going to be nice and protected that way.
So she can come with me and a mook or two.
You said a squad. It's going to be
A
more than
squad?
just two. Yeah.
There's only like 5 or 6 people.
Chopper squad is slang that you're not too familiar with. When it says chopper squad, it's like
this is gonna just become this is just gonna become fucking Hannibal and Jimmy, the terrible two over here, and then just me and Dodger and a load of Capone's men, and then Omni just backbines up again.
I'll just be working on my train set. I'll just be Gomez Adams in the basement for the next couple of episodes.
All right. I can't do all the thinking here. I
know. I'm thinking this is kind of.
I'm exceptionally tired.
I love putting people in these kinds of situations.
Oh God.
Brings me joy.
All right. All right. Yeah. If you wouldn't mind, Dodger, accompanying me for her case study, then
I'm more of a field study person anyway.
There you are.
But I know I'm certain that I'm testing the limits of your generosity here, so please be patient with me. But my good doctor here, she is running low on supplies. Do you happen to have any morphine?
I can't help your friends if I haven't got any supplies. You hold up the bag and it's like really light.
Down in the medical office, we got a good amount of supplies. We got people out going to get more right now. It's just
truly just to fill the bag up.
I won't take more than I need.
I'll let the doctor give you as much as he thinks you need.
If he's a good doctor, you know. It doesn't shock me that he bought
He's
me.
pretty good. He's getting a little bit long in the tooth, but he's pretty good.
Oh God.
Thank you kindly.
Dodger just gets a little glimpse of her future in 30 years' time. Just amicable Jack going, I think she's getting a bit long in the tooth. We need a new doctor.
Oh no. I will go see your doctor then.
Sure.
Am I able to go with her?
I would prefer not to be alone, please. Can tell she's kind of playing up this sort of anxious side that she's kind of like slinking in behind Sylvia a little bit.
You know, I need to give old Choo Choo a tour of the place too. Him and his little weird kid. So.
Or perhaps I could accompany you there. We could go all together, where you can keep an eye on us.
You think my ass is gonna get out of this seat?
She doesn't laugh. She doesn't laugh. I'm just laughing.
I
do like the idea that Snowy has like a heh kind of laugh.
It's like a witch's cackle, just like.
It's not he. It's for the meme. Anyway,
I'll have Vitaly escort you dames and old Choo Choo around the place.
Thank you kindly.
Sure. All right, get out of here. I got some business to take care of. He says. He opened his humidor and grabbed out a cigar.
Sylvie will walk out muttering under her breath.
These men and their business they need to take care of all the
I'm just clinging to your arms. Probably like lost all feeling right now.
Wait, did he just?
I
call
feel
me
like a
old
big
choo-choo?
part of her is so proud of herself because they just walked into a mobster's office and walked out alive, and she's like, "You know what? I did good today. Like, I did good today."
There'll be plenty of biscuits for you at the tea party.
Yeah, can't wait.
Let's cut back over to Hannibal and James, the dynamic duo.
No, please just go
Oh.
back to the apartment.
That's not gonna happen.
So you guys are driving down the street, and Jimmy's taking it real slow. He's taking it about 10, 15. The part that you're at in town isn't really too infested. It's sort of like just like scattered dead here and there. So he's going about 10, 15 miles an hour. He can get away with it. And he's just like kind of gently whirring around cars that are parked in the middle of the street and around these corpses and stuff like that. He's a good driver. Takes it real slow, real steady. And do you imagine having to make that many turns on a manual? Oh,
Oh God.
Jimmy's got strong arms. I'll say that much.
I'd say
Don't clear your throat. I see you.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Oh, what do you mean clear my throat? How dare you?
You just went. Anyway, he's sort of waiting for Hannibal to tell him to stop somewhere.
I'm going to let him see what I'm sure is a decent amount of carnage on the way down. Either bodies or just like I said, all these abandoned cars, and I'm sure there's no way we're getting down a major road without like blood in several pools. But as we near, whether he went to like Macy's or wherever place, grocery store or whatever he decided for, that seems likely for supplies. No, I assume they took your car. Do you see it around here?
I don't keep my car at my place. Safety reasons. It's a nice car. I don't want to park it in that part of town.
All right. What car would they have taken? Because I know my sister, and she's not really there. Walking.
Well, Dearman's got a truck. One of those big Ford flatbeds.
So you don't see it.
I would have, if I would have seen it, I would have said something, I promise. Am I worried about supplies right now?
No.
Your sister's probably fine. She's got a way about handling herself.
Yes, she does. She's tough.
She's a pretty good shot too.
You're gonna shut up with that.
If you didn't,
No.
somebody had to.
No. You can see he like wants to move on, but I'm gonna just.
He just like dwells on that. Like, with all due respect, this is the murder capital of the United States. I did both of us a favor.
Yeah. Let's see. When I left to, do the proper thing, serve my country in the Great War, we were still living in Astoria, so she wasn't living in the murder capital. Her ability to handle a firearm was an unnecessary situation. You understand?
I understand that, but
I'm glad you can defend yourself. Don't call into question my ability to defend my sister.
I never said so.
No,
I was just saying.
if you don't see the car, we're gonna move on to the next place that they might be.
We've been going for 6 blocks. Nothing except for these things and a bunch of turned over cars. I think we should find supplies first, because there wasn't a whole lot of food or coffee left in that apartment.
We're gonna make one quick stop and then we're turning back for the apartment. When you're lost, best way to get found is to stay in one place. So we're gonna check back at the apartment every few hours, just in case she's gone and turned back.
Sure.
But I will look over and did he take us to like a Macy's type or like a grocery store?
Probably like a grocery store, because he, with what you told him, it sounds like everybody would have wanted to go to a Macy's to stock up on stuff, so they're probably cleared out. A local like family grocery store is, in his mind, more ideal.
Right. Park the car someplace we can pull out fast if we need to. And since you're such an incredible shot, able to teach my sister, I assume you can handle that piece you're holding?
I'm good enough. Didn't you say
Yeah.
these things are drawn to noise?
Yeah. That's why it's going to be a last resort. And I'm going to actually, I think I already gave away my switchblade because I gave it to Dodger.
Yeah, you did.
So I'm going to go in the back of my car. I assume I have a tire iron.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have my Mac 11. I'm going to I'll take my 30-06 with me on my back, but I'm going to hold the tire iron in my hand, and be like, we're going to go in, get what we need, and get back to the apartment. All right?
Yeah.
And can I see anyone shambling around?
Yeah, you know, there's a few stragglers here and there. They're not going to be any bother to you.
I'm going to make sure the windows are rolled up, and I'm going to look at Jean-Pierre in the back seat and like look and be like, son of a bitch cat. And I'm going to take the cage with me, because if I leave it in the car and the cat gets eaten by zombies while we're in the grocery store, I'm going to freak out. So actually, I'm going to put Jean-Pierre in the trunk.
Smart. Zombies aren't going to...
You're gonna do what?
They can't get
Not
through
here.
steel. They can't get through steel.
And I'm going to go, and as I'm closing the trunk, I'm going to be like, I'm doing this to protect you.
Jean-Pierre fully hissing as you're just like it knows what's about to happen.
And I'm going to, yeah, I know you hate me. It's okay.
Come on, Mac. It's a cat. Let's go.
Yeah, it's just a cat.
It'll just take a
Slam
nap.
the trunk down, and well, not slam it down. I'm still gonna try and be quiet about it, but like he can tell I have a very upset, uncool relationship with this cat.
Relationship ended with this cat.
But I will say, like, for Hannibal's, like, he can't avoid this notion of like leaving the cat. It's like he knows this is not ideal, and the cat's already gonna be upset. But like, there's a level of like, Hannibal feels really bad just putting this cat in the trunk, but he's trying to do it to keep the cat alive. And
he's just imagining what Sylvie would be saying to him about it. Just like how
snap, I guess. But yes, we will go into the grocery store.
Okay. Front door clearly locked up. All the glass windows and the glass door are completely boarded. And he gestures with his head over to the alleyway. Yeah, come on, Mac. I bet it's gonna be. There's a back door back here for trucks.
Yeah. All right. And I'll let him lead. I'll stay like probably 5 to 10 feet back.
Yeah, he's leading, and he's like, you see him trying to like get low to the ground and like crouch walk, just like the sort of like, you know what I mean. And
Mhm.
you see that his leg's giving him a little bit of trouble, but he's just like wincing through it, and he just has his piece up. And you see him like reach into his shoe, and he kind of like pops it down a little bit and pulls out a switchblade. It's a particularly long switchblade too. And he just
Go ahead.
no, you're good. He just like presses the button down on it, and this like good 5.5, 6 inch blade pops out.
Can I make a first aid check to see if I think that he can run if we need to run?
Yes, you can.
That's a success.
He'll be able to do it, but it's going to be rough, and he's probably going to reopen a wound or something.
As long
He's
as
not.
he-
He's not like you. You've seen gunshot wounds. You
Yeah.
know what they can do. If he's moving around this easily, he probably got hit by a 32.
Okay.
Nothing bigger than that.
I will look over at him. Now, they don't move very fast, but when they get in close, it's they don't hold back as far as their strength goes either. So, a fast walk will serve you just fine. Don't push yourself, because if you trip, I ain't coming back after you. And I'm going to go over and is there like you said he says there's like a loading bay kind of situation or like a
There's like a solid block of concrete and like a ramp, and there's a truck that's been completely abandoned, and it has this massive container on it, and you can only see the side of it. It has some generic trucking brand. You know, you see like a couple of like bushels of wheat on the side of it, and some generic name like Drummel.
Henderson Valley eggs. All right. Is there a way into the grocery store through this like loading bay?
The door in the back, it seems to be the only thing that like you could probably reasonably kick through it. You know you weren't getting through the front door.
Yeah. Mm,
Hope you got a good leg, Mac.
yeah. I'm going to go and just for the sake of it, I will try the door to see if it's locked before I start making a bunch of noise trying to kick it in.
You jumble with it, and it's a little loose, but it's not opening. So if you give this thing one good kick, you know you're gonna put it in, because it's just a wooden door. It's not a very solid wooden door either.
And that's a brawl.
You can tell people have broken in before.
Yeah, that's a brawl.
Yep.
Okay. I'll put. Can I put 9 points of luck into that to make it succeed?
Yes. Just remember not to check mark it.
Okay.
So the regular success, you just put your foot right through the door, and you feel it kind of like reverberate up your knee a little bit. The fact that your foot went through is good, because if it didn't, that would reignite some old injuries. The door like flings, and it kind of like it shakes and quick. You know, like in Tom and Jerry when they get hit with something and they just like kind of like reverberate. That's how the wood door is right now. It's just kind of like shaking from the sudden force. And door's open, and you see Jimmy like looking around, just keeping an eye out for anything that's coming towards them.
I will move up and try and steady the door from continuing to shake and make any noise.
As you reach in to steady the door, you feel like cold press against your temple, and like out of your peripheral, you can see an older woman with darker skin holding a shotgun, and she just like has it pressed right to your temple. What you doing?
Afternoon, madam. My name is Hannibal Riggs. You forgive me for the door. I assumed the place was empty.
Get your ass inside. I'm gonna blast you.
James. This is my associate James. I assume he can come with me.
Yeah, just keep it down.
Come on. Hannibal stays pretty cool under having a gun to him. It's not the first time, so
Unfortunately.
I will move in and I will keep the tire in my hand, but I will hold it down so it's at my side.
The the woman looks at the door and she's a portly woman of advancing age, but you could tell she could still handle herself just fine. She's got her skirts hiked up to like about her knee, and she's wearing a pair of boots. She seems pretty well adjusted to everything going on, and she's like trying to figure out how to fix the door.
Look, like I said, I'm sorry for the door. I'll be happy to help you fix it.
Your ass is going to stay here and fix it, and that's how it's going to be.
Yeah. It'd be nice to know your name, man.
Be nice to know what you say your name was? Hannibal?
Hannibal Riggs.
And this is
This is James.
James Mancini. You can yeah, just James. Let's see here. She looks to both of you up and down and just kind of sees that neither of you have are a clear and pleasant threat. Fiona
Right.
Smalls.
Well, Fiona, like I said, I apologize for the door. I'm looking for my sister, Sylvie LaBelle, and we needed to get some supplies on the way. We also know that she's out looking for supplies, so I figured the place was either abandoned or she might have stopped by earlier to try and find something.
You boys ain't with any sort of gang or nothing?
No.
Jimmy opens his mouth. Spit it out. Well, ma'am, I'm not a liar. I'm with the North Side gang. She'd nod, and she actually seemed to kind of appreciate the honesty. She says, as long as you ain't any of them Capone boys or there's a new gang on the street. Started right when all this happened.
I'm going to point to his leg and be like, Capone's boys did that to him, so I think we can safely say we're not. What's this new gang calling themselves?
They call themselves a bunch of different things. They don't seem to have any sort of what's the word? Uniformity.
Uniformity. Do they all move slow? A little bitey, perhaps?
No, it ain't them. Them's be zombies.
Zombies. Zombies?
Mm-hmm.
What, like the Haitian thing?
Mm-hmm. She'd nod. She was actually kind of impressed that you knew that, and that seemed to make her even more comfortable that you knew that. In a weird, indirect way, of course, because it's like, oh yeah, you know this horrible shit she's talking about.
I mean, like I said, it's for especially his theater in World War One and during the Boxer Rebellion. It's like they sent the Marines, and they also sent a lot of black soldiers because it's like they wanted to send the most disposable soldiers at the time because fucking anyway. So it's like he would have a lot of experience in knowing many different cultures. But it's like, I'm going to just look, let me fix the door. And then we'll be on our way. If you haven't seen Sylvie, then, well, frankly, we're of no use to you. And I'm not going to take anything you have.
You boys could be of some use to me. This new gang, they's harassing people on this street. Now, there's a lot of black folk that live on the street, and this gang, them some really, really religious folk, and the kind that put them sheets on their head.
Uh, I understand.
They calling themselves the. It wasn't the clan. It was the chosen. Is what them call themselves. There's some crazy man. Yeah, Ash Wednesday. You know, you put the ashes on your forehead.
I'm familiar.
There's a man walking around preaching in the streets at night, drawing the dead with him. Don't seem afraid of him none. His followers carry torches. They kill whoever's still alive, but they leave the dead alone.
All the more reason for me to find my sister.
I
So
pray for your sake she hasn't fallen victim to none of that.
she won't, because I'm going to save her. Now, Fiona, I'm more than happy if you want to come with us, but I'm not staying here.
It's
The only thing
exactly
that
safe no more, anyhow.
Yeah, I said the only thing that matters to me is finding my sister, making sure she's okay. I can see you can handle yourself, and I would like point to her holding the shotgun. If you can move fast, you can move with us.
This is my daddy's gun.
Can you fire it?
You bet your ass.
Yeah, I bet.
I can take a fruit fly of a dog's ass at 300 meters.
Is that all? And that's like the first time he's actually kind of joked with anyone yet.
She smiles and she has these really round. She has a very pleasant face. She just like you could tell if the situation was less tense that she would be the kind of woman that would walk you around her store and recommend things and stuff like that. Just talk to you about all sorts of things. But given the situation, her sort of jovialness has been in decline. But that sort of that
With
seems rather pleased.
with the dead, with these chosen, with everything going on in Chicago, I figure our best chance is to try and either hop a train or find the most secure building we can and fortify. I'd prefer to leave. I have a family home out in Astoria, and we can go and try that. But like I said, I gotta find Sylvie first. With us, she's got a nurse, very talented one. So if you have any kind of wounds need tending, I can also promise that.
Well, I wish you was here when this happened. My husband, he thought he was going to be all high and mighty and try to forage out and take care of things. I don't think he realized how bad it was, how bad it is. He never came back. I've been here all by myself. I'm just thankful our sons are all the way out in Los Angeles. And I hope it ain't happening here or there. Haven't been able to get a hold of them neither. None of the telephones are working. Not even the street one.
I can't promise Los Angeles, but I have a car and it runs. I have guns and I know how to use them. James, he can drive, and well, I'll be honest, I haven't seen him fire that gun yet, but he says he knows what he's doing with it.
I know well enough, and also pretty good at crunching numbers if that ever becomes relevant again.
If my sister trusts him, so he's well, he's got to have something good about him.
Well,
so like I said, I can fix the door and be on my way. Or you can grab what you can carry and we can get the hell out of here and you can come with us. My suggestion to you, I could get in here with a one swift kick. If this chosen's walking around and painting ashes onto the dead, carrying torches, yeah, you're gonna need a whole lot more than that shotgun.
Son, you was lucky I didn't see no cross on your forehead, because I would have blown your head all over the wall if I did.
That'd be unfortunate for me if you did.
I reckon
Right.
it would be. Now that truck outside, I haven't managed to get it open. I've been trying to pry it open, but they locked it up tight. If you can get that thing open, there's a bunch of canned goods in there, all from out in the southwest. I'd imagine it's peaches, it's beans, all sorts of good stuff. Last years.
Does
We need to
it
get open.
does it run?
See, son, I don't know. I don't know much about cars.
I know a
No,
little.
I know less about trucks than I know about cars, and that ain't much.
Can I go out and take a look at it and make like a drive auto check, see if it runs?
Absolutely. But as you go to like head back outside, she puts a hand on your shoulder. How tall is Hannibal, by the way?
He's extremely tall. My if I remember correctly, yeah, my size is 70. I think we said he's like 6'6", 6'8".
Yeah, he is a monster of a man. This woman's pretty tall herself. She's 5'10", like just with like regular flat shoes on, and she puts a hand on your shoulder. Main reason I haven't tried to get that truck open is making too much noise. When you make too much noise, you draw them things.
Yeah. Let me see if it'll run. If it'll run, we can worry about opening it in our free time because we can just drive it the hell up out of here.
It's in a really precarious spot, so it's going to take some time, and it's going to be loud trying to get this thing out of the lot that it's in right now.
In that case,
It can be done. It's just going to take a lot of finesse and a lot of.
It's going to be loud and take time. It's not worth it. I need something that'll go fast. So, all right, I'll like look and see that I would have to do like a fucking like 5-point turn to get out and just be like, all right, look, let me see if I can get it open. We'll take as many cans as we can. If I can't get it open, take what you can in your store. We'll manage. All right, and we know it's here. The worst if we need to come back, but it might just be gold we leave in the desert. You understand me?
She'd let out a sigh and she'd go over to a rack and take a sun hat off of it and put it on her head.
Okay. I'm gonna go over to the truck and see if I can. I assume the back of it is locked.
Yeah, it's 100% locked. Locked up.
I'm not amazing at this, but can I make a locksmith check to try and get it open?
You can attempt it. Are you using any sort of tool to do this?
Well, let me double check. Did I write down my stuff?
I was gonna say because beating it with the tire iron isn't gonna be counting.
No, I'm not doing that. I'm trying to see if I had a lockpick amongst all my shit.
While you're looking for that, Jimmy's gonna walk up to you, like look over at you. Yeah, she might have I think driving the thing out of the lot might not be a bad idea. It's just gonna be if we do, we ain't coming back. Think about it. Not only do we have a bunch of food, we got a mobile house, and we could easily board that thing up, make it hell on earth for people trying to get to us. Pretty big and noticeable, but we got people guarding it. You know.
It's true.
You're a military man, you know all about that. It's like a bunker.
Look, if it's going to be noisy and time consuming to get out of here, I need 2 of you to keep an overwatch on me.
You got any attachment to that car?
I need the cat.
Well, we can put the cat in the truck. But I'm
Let me
thinking they
see
take
if it'll
that
run
car.
first. Let me see if it's
Okay. Well,
I'm gonna go make a drive auto check. You said I can. I'll put 6 more luck into this son of a bitch. Okay.
this thing is definitely drivable. It's only been sitting for maybe 3 days or so. Like it hasn't been here for very long, so you can't imagine why it wouldn't function. You have to do a little bit of hot wiring because you don't know where the keys are.
I'm going to look over to Jimmy. Now, given your skills, can you operate a car without the keys?
Now, in any other situation, I'd say that's kind of prejudiced to assume that I know how to hotwire a car, but I do. So, yeah, I could hotwiring a truck. I'm not sure. I could give it a shot.
I'll do what I can to help you. I had a couple of times some of our vehicles out there. I'm not a mechanic, but I know a little bit. But let's get Jean-Pierre into the cab. Fiona, you're gonna need to take that shotgun and like I said, only if they're in the way are you gonna use it.
You don't need to tell me.
Good.
She
I
pop
will
open the
go.
shotgun and just like double check it. Just good marksmanship and pop it back up.
I will look over to Jimmy. Start and be as quiet as you can until I get back to Jean-Pierre. And I'm gonna head back to my car to get Jean-Pierre out of the trunk.
As you're heading down the alleyway back towards the car, you realize that it's like very quiet. It's like it is a little bit too quiet. You expect to at least hear like the occasional like rapid pop of gunfire in the distance, but then you realize that like man, it's only been 2-3 days and everything's already gone to shit to the point where everything's quiet, and you're very familiar with that sort of thing. Unfortunately, the sort of calm after the storm, and then you see something like directly across the alleyway from you. You see a humanoid figure just sort of standing, like watching you. And you're like right over the trunk, and you notice this out of your peripheral.
I'm going to, as subtly as I can, try and get a better look at it without being obvious that I'm like, huh, and like looking over at them.
Make a spot hidden check.
Okay.
You could always push it.
How do I do that?
So you just re-roll it, and if you fail, something bad happens.
Fuck.
I just need you to know this is how we lost Diarmid.
In that case, I'm going to push it.
Oh.
Yes.
That number.
Same exact number. Wow. What are the chances of that? 1 in 1,000, I think.
More than that.
1 in 10,000, I think. Anyway, somebody do the math for me in chat. I'm not that smart. So
I know 2 of the same rolls for D20s is 1 in 400. So 1 out of 2 D100s is definitely ridiculous. Anyway,
as much as you try to stop yourself from like whipping your head around to see like who this figure is, you do it anyway because like you're just so taken aback by the whole situation. And this figure, they have a pistol in their hand, and they raise it up, and you think it's gonna fall on you, and you're caught completely with your pants down. You have your hands like on the trunk, you're in the middle of opening it. You don't have your gun available, and then he doesn't He doesn't shoot at you. He just shoots, fires off a shot into the air, and you hear this. Moments later, you hear this like growing noise, just this low growl that's growing into a different series of grunts, cries of agony, all sorts of terrible things. And this figure, before you're able to shoot back at this guy, gone, just disappears. You see him just leap up a fire escape and dive through a window and disappear. And I think that's where we're gonna end the session.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Fuck.
that's a cliffhanger and a half. God damn it.
Okay.
Hmm.
What's going on here?
Hmm.
Let's do shout outs. Talk about what we're doing. I started with Omni last time, so let's start with Kat this time.
Me? Okay. Hi. I'm Kat, otherwise known as the Law Mistress. You can find me on Twitter at LawMistress93. What have I been doing? So I've just finished off season 2 of Theros, Throsian Odyssey. So you can find on Girls Run These Worlds YouTube channel. You can go and catch up on the VODs over there. That was a game I was DMing and had a lot of fun with. Please do go and check it out. I also just had a zine released today by Girls Write These Worlds that had a roll table of mine. So if you ever checked out my website before and liked reading my articles and my roll tables and missed them, because I haven't had time to do any very recently, then please do check out that zine. It's a table full of like sort of magical statues that can serve as NPCs for your game. So that's over on Girls Write These Worlds .itch.io. You can find it on my Twitter. What else have I been doing? Life, man. I don't know. I'm gonna leave it there because my brain is blanked, and I'm sure that at the end of this I'll go, I forgot all these things. But there you go. That's me for now.
Had that happen. Well, I appreciate you, Kat, as always, and I wanted to make something clear to chat. I am going to give Omni something to do because I had the realization it's just like Omni's done nothing. I was just like,
dude, after the last
no.
2.5 sessions of basically owning fully half to 3/4 of all the dialogue, I totally am fine. I understand. I know. That's how this shit
This
goes.
is also a 2-hour session rather than our like 3 hours.
This is a big deal. Omni had a conversation with one of us. That's
the first player interaction, baby. Let's go. Next time, 2 sentences is the goal. No, it was a blast. I love this session, even if I'm not directly interacting with it. I'm taking notes of what's happening around.
No, I always just kind of feel bad when
I think it's about time we gave the people what they want, which is meat.
to be fair, this was a Hannibal catch-up session. So.
Yeah, exactly. It's no big deal, buddy. But
very happy about Hannibal and Jimmy not being able to stand each other.
I will say there was a moment when you said that I had woken up and he was still lying in the bed. I was like, how funny would it be if I went up and just blew his brains out in the bed?
Oh my
Sylvie
God.
would never forgive you. That's the genuine truth.
Comedy. So yeah, thank you, Kat. And again, this was only a 2-hour session, so it's hard to fit everybody in doing things, that sort of thing. But we'll be back to our normal schedule. We'll be back to about 2.5, 3-hour sessions. And I appreciate it. I appreciate your patience on it, and I appreciate your patience, Art, too, because I know that both of y'all didn't really get to do a whole lot. So
Yeah, it's fine. I enjoy listening to people talk. It's sort of my thing.
that's good. I appreciate you guys being understanding. I just want you to be aware that I understand that happened.
You
So,
good? Don't
that
you
buddy.
worry.
Gym and games, man. So thank you. Well, speaking of Art, would you like to do your shout out?
God damn it. I'm never prepared for this. I've done nothing in the last week, to be honest with you. I'm still the same. I have been planning my return to streaming, and I realized that one of the days I picked was the King's coronation in the UK. Which is kind of funny.
Oh.
Do I want to go up against the King's coronation?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, who gives a shit?
I mean, I'll
I
be,
mean, I
I'll
was
be
going to say,
working.
as I recall, the king is not particularly popular, so you actually might pull better than he does.
I was
I'll
gonna
be,
say,
I'll be working. I know. Listen, the British people are a fickle bunch.
Well-
okay, they can't stand Prince Charles, but King Charles is great.
Cool.
yes. I could go into that. I'm not going to. Anyway, tell me about what you're
Don't-
doing. Your return to streaming and all that.
Listen. I think I get enough of it living
Look,
here. All right.
If you've ever wondered, like, man, why do Americans like vote against their own interests so much? We learned it from the British. All right.
Well,
Oh, that's
yeah.
fair.
It's very much. I learned it from watching you, Dad.
That's
It's-
fair.
I'm glad we have a nurse in the party because we need ointment for that burn.
Oof.
Hold on. Let me get it.
Here. Just let me get into my bag of tricks.
I've completely lost where I was. Yes, so
Return to streaming.
that kind of settles it then. I guess May the 8th on at 7:30, maybe 7 o'clock. Maybe I'll be live.
That's 7 Greenwich, right?
7, yeah, British Standard Time.
Okay.
7 o'clock British Standard Time.
I
May
have no idea
8th.
what time that is for me. Otherwise, I'd be there.
I think that's 1 o'clock CST.
I'll probably
Alright.
be at work, but I'll try to lurk.
Yeah, I've picked a game, and it's not Ragnarok anymore. It's something else.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm very excited to see what it is. It's probably Resident Evil 4 remake, but I won't say anything.
I can't afford that right now, so it's not going to be that.
Sure,
Otherwise,
sure.
it would be that. Otherwise, it would be that because that is the game. The original is the game that got me started in streaming. So I thought that would have been quite a nice thing to return with the remaster, but I can't afford it, so it's not going to be the remaster.
Soon enough, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm glad to see you getting back to streaming. That's awesome.
There's
Thank
the
you.
time and date. That's announced before Twitter too. So
All
that's
right, well,
it. I'm literally doing nothing else right now.
well, people, I posted Art's Twitter. I posted Cat's Twitter. Check them out, please. I beg you.
Please.
Oh,
For
hey,
the love
Sarah.
of God.
Hi,
I
Sarah.
perceive Sarah.
Uh,
Hey,
Yeah, I
Sarah.
just saw Sarah in the chat. Right on. Sarah, stick around. We will be rating into somebody, I hope. But let's go over to Alakazam.
That's me. Yes, I'm Alexander for DM, prepare one things homebrew. I just opened 8 new time slots. So if you want to play in a game run by me, I have a lot of options for that. All sorts of different times. Beyond that, I also, probably my biggest projects, I am working on my own occult TTRPG system called Spliced. We just had the first couple playtest streams. We did a noir theme stream because it is a settingless system set in the 1960s called Rain 944th Street. We're doing the final episode of that in a couple of weeks. And then we did Hunter's Moon, which is set in 1899 and is more of a gothic romance story. So that's been very fun, and the system should be coming out later this year, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Probably my other biggest project is I have my book of pirate content for 5e that I wrote called Treasures of the Pirate Court. I'm updating it with a ton of new content. I actually added, the original was about 55 pages. The new version is closer to 80. So new subclasses, there's subclasses, feats, spells, magic items, a ton of monster stat blocks. There's the Pirate King, 13 Pirate Lords, several unaffiliated pirates, excuse me, and drop my phone. And it's going to be pretty fantastic. It's coming out tomorrow, so check out Treasures of the Pirate Court, Big Booty Edition, when it drops tomorrow. And I think that's everything. Otherwise, I'm here every other Thursday. I also alternate where I do Curious Creations, a stream where I create homebrew live on air while C. Leverett Art illustrates live on air. We've had a couple of guests recently, so I know we're going to have another one soon. Trying to think if there's anything else because I'm doing a lot of shit. That should be everything for now. But yes, check me out on Twitter. You can join my Discord to see what time slots I have available if you're interested in playing a game. I also allow all of my homebrew, including my hundreds of subclasses, player races, magic items, spells, all that shit, to be allowed to be played in my game. So not only do you get that, you get access to all my content.
He's incredible. Seriously. Fucking him up, people.
I'm dope. And so you should give me money, and I will in turn give you goods and services.
Damn straight.
Hell yeah, boss. I always appreciate having you, and I'm glad to have you back. Now that the schedule is all organized, Alex should join us for the foreseeable future every other Thursday. So, yes. Yay, work and having to be a slave to the system. It's so awesome. Anyway, I appreciate you. Like, I'm glad to have you back. And obviously, check Alec out on Twitter. Posted it there. I'm sure he has a link tree.
Yes.
Right on. So check out his link tree.
It's so good to have Alec here promoting himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's cool. You seen this guy? He's cool.
It's so nice. I think you guys are cool. But yeah, I am also cool. So.
All right. Well, the last, but not the least, Omnitech.
Hello, everyone. I'm the Last Omnitech, your favorite robot American. You guys can catch me on my own Twitch channel, twitch.tv/The Last Omnitech, or at my Twitter, at The Last Omnitech, all one word. I'm pretty much the same handle everywhere, so pretty easy to spot. I do world building, rule smithing, and artwork as well. I've been working a great deal on a lot of TTRPG content, including my legacy Storytelling World Tomorrow system, a project I've been working on for like 20 years, and is now finally in alpha and being played live every other Saturday on DMDM Studios on Legacy First Flight. Keep an eye out for that. I absolutely flag those tweets all the time. On top of that, I'm also running on my channel, Wild Skies Britannia, my very first ever foray into running what was originally going to be a D&D game, but Pathfinder 2E game now, that I've been doing a bunch of homebrew for, including but not limited to writing an entire line of airship rules and mech rules for fantasy. So if you're interested in steam-powered warfare, I got you covered. This is in addition to what's inside of Guns and Gears, which is pretty extensive, but they don't have many airships. They don't have many mechs. So don't worry, your boy's got you covered. I'm going to be releasing that stuff for free. I'm not trying to profit off that myself because it's Paizo shit, and I'm not dealing with licensing right now. Finally,
Won't even send Pinkertons after you.
That'd be so great, right?
Dear God.
Oh, fuck.
I don't know. It might need to punch a Pinkerton before I get mowed down in a hail of gunfire. Anyway, finally, the last detail that we're going to talk about is Mouse Guard, which I run every other week on DMDM Studios. So keep an eye out. I'm actually doing prep work for it now, modifying MCDM's warfare rules to apply to Mouse Guard. And I've gotten to the point where I have a pretty solid card system built up. So expect to see that happen soon. And again, I will likely drop that into Public Square. Keep an eye out, folks. And thank you all so much for having me on board. I love playing in this game and with you guys. You know, I'm on almost all of Red's streams, on like half of Derek's streams, DMDM Studios. And you can catch me every Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday on my own channel. And that's me.
Appreciate you, boss, as always. Omni will also be joining us for another game coming up. Obviously, I can't run a game without Omni in some way, shape, or form. So keep an eye out for that. That is Band of Blades. I am currently taking tryouts for that. If you are available, perhaps every other Monday at like in the evening time, United States, like Central, relatively like evening time. That is Band of Blades is a really gritty game, and I'm very much looking forward to running that. If you like gritty stuff like this. It's very similar. It's a little bit more fantasy. You play as players will be fantasy soldiers. There's no magic. There's no hoo-ha. You're literally just soldiers trying to like flee from the undead that are relentlessly destroying the entire world. So if you like these undead, I like zombies. Everybody knows I like zombies. So yeah, that'll be coming up soon. But Omni will be one of the players for that for sure.
Very Black Company.
Yes, if you've ever read Black Company, it is very similar to that. But other than that, please check out my Patreon if you like Magic the Gathering type stuff, which I'm going to be on another content creators channel tonight, playing some Magic. Check out my proxies. They are for just like $3 a month. You can get access to all the printable versions of them, and just print them out, stick them on a basic land, and play them. Or you can message me, and I cannot directly sell these proxies because they are technically WotC property, but if you donate to me, I will indirectly give them to you as a donation gift, therefore it is not a purchase. You can get one of
Do
these
it.
bad boys. This is Arcane Signature, the ones I just got in the mail. They're nice and foiled for your enjoyment, for your commander decks and all that nonsense. And I still have some of these brainstorms. So if you want to join up, I will potentially give you one of those as a thank you gift. But yeah, it's literally just, I'm not trying to make money off of it. I just want to give back to the community by printing proxies, giving back because been a great supportive community. But I'm also been looking to see if we can raid into anybody, and there's not a single person that I follow that is live right now. And so unless we have recommendations, I'm just gonna go ahead and shut it off for the evening. Also check me out on Kuro Hitsuki's channel
Horde
tonight
of
at like 9.
Tales. Horde of Tales.
Horde of Tales. I need to look that one up.
Yeah.
How's that spelled?
Ada.
I will say I am subscribed to Red's Patreon. It is awesome and very worthwhile.
Yes.
Can recommend.
Thank you. Speaking of which, I probably need to start working on a new piece because like I'm a little bit late. I tried to get one out
You've
once.
been a little busy, buddy. I think we can give you some slack.
Well, you know, I'm still a painter at the end of the day. I got to get my shit out. But yeah. Well, what was this Horde of Tales? How do you spell that?
Kat, how do you spell that?
Hoard.
What's H?
Tales. Tales.
I see it.
What's this H? I'm not sure what that is.
It's a British letter.
Hey!
It's the secret 20.
Oh, you mean H? My bad.
I will. Oh, I
God, it's
can't
like when
resist, can you?
it's like when people say Z. It's like ugh.
Oh no,
Zed?
it's the Z beast.
Right, okay, but I have the exact same visceral reaction when I hear Z. Whenever me, I'm like, oh.
It's a British letter. 100%. It's a British letter. All right. Well, good night, folks, or good afternoon, or whatever time of day it is. Just stick around. We're gonna raid into Horde of Tales, and y'all have a great night.
Good night, my friend.
Oh yeah.
Bye.
See you next time.